Before we get started, please go over to Amazon.com and grab a copy of my book, Education and Justice. If you have an African-American son in public school, you need this book because I teach you the many ways that public schools mistreat African-American boys and what you can do to help your son. So go over there and get your copy immediately. All right, folks, let's get into this video. So Black unemployment is rising rapidly under Trump's second administration. I mean, rapidly. Things are not looking good for Blacks who have especially government jobs or anything that can be affected by Trump's anti-DEI war. All right, so it is looking bad, and it could be that before it's all said and done, that Black unemployment could hit the double digits because it is really rising really fast. And so for all the Blacks who voted for Trump based on some idea that he's great for the economy, well, you're beginning to see that is not true. That is definitely not true. And then you add on top of all of that, again, this anti-DEI war that he's waging, and Blacks are taking a beating. And not just Black women. Hey, family, do you believe in the work we're doing? Does our content speak to you? Do you appreciate our in-depth legal analysis and political commentary from an African-American perspective? Do you believe it matters to our community? Then don't just watch from the sidelines. Please click that membership button and become a member of the 2% Club today. That's right, we need just 2% of our subscribers to become channel members. For just $4.99 a month, that's less than 20 cents a day, you'll help us keep creating powerful content that defends our democracy, demands justice, and develops a strong African-American community. But if you want more, at $9.99 a month, which is only 33 cents a day, you'll get access to exclusive members-only live streams, bonus content, and behind-the-scenes updates. And for just $14.99 a month, which is under 50 cents a day, our top-tier members get access to live Zone calls, strategy sessions, and a direct voice in shaping this movement. We're not just building a YouTube channel. Folks, we're building a movement based on righteousness and justice, just what our community needs in a time of disinformation and division. So if you believe in what we're doing, click the membership button and join now. Become a member of the 2% Club today. Let's build something powerful together. So we know Black women are taking a serious beating because a lot of the folks who've been let go as a result of DEI have been Black women. All right? But not only Black women, all across the board, for African Americans, unemployment is rising. All right, so let's go to another screen. And the first thing I want to do is look at how social media disinformation has played a part in all of this. So let's start with this. The pro-Black imposters were defending their support for Trump and intentionally spreading disinformation when they told Blacks Trump's war on DEI wouldn't hurt them, claiming those programs only helped white women in the LGBTQ plus community. So we remember that shortly after Trump got elected and he started his anti-DEI war, a lot of pro-Black imposters, those who told Blacks to vote for Trump or to vote the couch, they justified and defended them telling Blacks to vote for Trump. They defended it and justified it by saying, oh, don't worry about Trump's anti-DEI war because it only benefited white women and LGBTQ plus people. And I said then and I say now, that may be true, but if you look at that wrong, you're going to be misled. Of course, more white women benefited from DEI than other people because there are more white women in the country. There are many, many more white women in the country than the entire African American community. So, of course, when you look at DEI numbers, you're going to see a lot of white women getting helped. But black people were helped by DEI as well, especially in certain sectors like the federal workforce, where Trump's anti-DEI war impacted and continues to impact blacks disproportionately. We are overrepresented in the federal workforce, and a lot of those people are black women. But not just black women, again. This rising black unemployment is hitting blacks just across the board. All right, so that was all just disinformation about, hey, don't worry about Trump's anti-DEI war. When the pro-black imposters said that, they were intentionally trying to justify or excuse their support for Trump, as they have been doing now that Trump has sent the National Guard and the military into black neighborhoods and communities. They are now trying to act like, well, Trump is wrong for that. He shouldn't be doing that. And you know, keep standing, brothers, and all of that. Well, yeah, you all helped him get elected because you told people for months, and you continue to tell blacks to vote the couch. And you trashed Kamala. So that's why they are imposters, because they appear to be pro-black, but they sure are not doing anything to really help the black community. All right, now, unemployment. Biden's black unemployment rate, we need to look back so that you will have a point of reference and some way to compare what happened under Trump and what happened under Biden. All right, in 2023, the share of black workers who were unemployed fell to 4.8%, the lowest level since the Labor Department began tracking such data in 1972. This is key, folks. This is key. Under Biden, black unemployment was the lowest since they took numbers. Now, how many times have we heard Trump claim that black unemployment was the lowest under him? Well, it was at that time. But when Biden got elected, Biden and Harris, they took it even lower. All right? So 4.8% in 2023, and that was in the month of April. I remember it very well. All right? Also at that time, the gap between black and white unemployment shrank to the lowest level on record that year, and black workers for years saw higher wage gains. So that's what happened with the income gap or the employment gap between black and white people. It really began to shrink under the Biden-Harris administration, and it stayed that way for years. All right. So that's where things were. And unemployment did rise some just when Biden was leaving office. Black unemployment did rise some just before, again, Trump was to take office. All right. Not a lot. Nowhere near where it is now. In fact, let's look at where it is now. So this is Trump's black unemployment rate. Now, watch this. In second quarter of 2025, national black unemployment averaged 6.2%. It was not that high when Trump took office. And it was not that high at any time when Biden and Harris were in office. So it is rising rapidly. All right. Second quarter. That would be April, May, June. All right. In July 2025, seasonally adjusted black unemployment was 7.2%. In June, 6.8%. So it was 6.2%. Then it rose to 6.8%. And then in July, it went up to 7.2%. All of this under Trump. So blacks are taking a beating under Trump's economic policies. But it gets worse. The racial unemployment gap widened in August. Black Americans are seeing an unemployment rate of 7.5%. Okay, when Trump took office, I believe it was 5 something. And then, because of his policies, it rose to 6.2%. And then it went to 6.8%. And then 7.2%. And in this last jobs number report, it's now at 7.5%. Yeah, let that sink in. Never did it get this high. Nowhere near this high under Biden and Harris. Nowhere near this high. So I'm just wondering, why did so many blacks vote for this? Unemployment rising. The military and National Guard he's sending after you. I mean, why? It's attacking black history. I really, really wish more of you would have listened to me and others who were telling you this is not what we wanted. This did not benefit the black community. They're dismantling civil rights and everything else. Seasonally adjusted unemployment is up significantly for college-educated and non-college educated black workers. So it's just bad across the board. I mean, this not only for folks, say, in the service industry, in the construction industry, but also college-educated blacks. And all of this is related to Trump's policies, especially his tariff policies and his anti-DEI war policies. Just because white women got most of the benefits of DEI programs, because it's more of them, Trump is using his anti-DEI war to go after blacks. There are lawsuits that are pending that show that blacks are being disproportionately or desperately impacted by Trump's anti-DEI war, which is why they attacked disparate impact in the first place. All right, let's now look at something else. This is companies that are pulling back from diversity initiatives in the midst of pressure from the Trump administration could push the black unemployment rate further up in the future, said Valerie Wilson, a labor economist at the Economic Policy Institute, a think tank. All right? So things are likely to get worse because of Trump's policies and especially his anti-DEI war. Things are likely to get worse for black Americans. Now, when you compare the job numbers just nationally for the Biden-Harris administration and Trump and Vance thus far, the comparison is stark. In the blue over here, look at the numbers. Jobs produced in the latter part, in fact, this was December of 2024, right here, were over 300,000. That was the last month of 2024. Trump had defeated Biden, but Biden's policies were still in effect. And then look at what happened the first month that Trump took office. Look at that. And look at how now they're down here. And obviously, look at those numbers. 1 month, this month, The economy lost jobs under Trump's policies. And when that sort of thing happens, you can believe black folks are really suffering. Really suffering. And then last month, only 22,000 jobs were created. And so economists like to say, when you see unemployment rising in the black community, that is like a canary in the coal mine. That is a warning. That is an economic warning, because blacks are the first to get fired and laid off and all of that. So since blacks are the first, then that means a lot more is on the way. Once they get rid of the blacks, then they'll start going after whites. All right, now I want to show you something here. This graph just tells a big picture over about a 15 or 20-year period. All right, so what we're looking at is the unemployment rate by race. Now, in 2008, which would be right here when Obama took office, unemployment started rising sharply. Look at that. Okay, that's for whites, and that's for blacks. Started rising sharply. And he turned it around. He saved the economy such that unemployment got this high. Let me get rid of this just a second. Unemployment peaked here for blacks and for whites. And then what happened? Under Obama, it started coming down. And that means that there was a steady increase of jobs for a long time until when did Trump take office? He took office in 2016, which would have been right up in here. And what was happening then? Obama's policies was still bringing unemployment down by creating a high number of jobs every month. Okay? And then Trump's term ended here, 2021, but he had to deal with COVID. And many say that he mismanaged COVID and caused unemployment to go sky high. Okay? Once again. Now, we have to give him credit for the warp speed vaccine program that they're now, under RFK Jr., are criticizing, but it saved a lot of lives. Although Dr. Birx, Trump's COVID coordinator, I think was her title, said that several 100,000 people died needlessly. All right, but that's another story. Right now I'm looking at what happened to unemployment. So it went way up here because of COVID. Biden and Harris came in office right about here. And what happened? Unemployment started coming down. Okay? Started coming down. Like I said, it ticked up a little bit right at the end. But way beneath where it had been. Now what is happening? For blacks, look at that big increase in unemployment, whereas there is hardly any increase for whites. All this is Trump. Where you see that 2025, that's when he took office. What is happening with black unemployment? Shooting through the roof. And if things don't turn around, it could be up here in double digits. So folks, trust me when I tell you, Trump's policies across the board have not been good. And I knew they wouldn't, because they have not been good for blacks especially. And I knew they wouldn't because I read Project 2025 and made multiple videos on it. This they forecasted. We knew they would do tariffs because they said so in Project 2025. We knew that they would fire a lot of people in the government because they said so in Project 2025 when they talked about going after the deep state, the administrative state. We knew this was coming. And I told you. We knew that they would go after DEI programs. We knew that because they said so in Project 2025. And blacks are taking the brunt of all of that. So, unemployment for the black community is likely to increase, as the scholar said, and unfortunately, that's going to have a serious impact on the black community as a whole. A lot of black people are already suffering, losing jobs, trying to find jobs, and they can't find them because Trump's tariffs have a whole lot of businesses in limbo, don't know what to do. Now, of course, he's saying that the reason for that is not his tariffs, but because Jerome Powell and the Fed have not lowered interest rates. So we'll see. But for now, the African-American community is taking a beating on many different levels under this Trump second administration. We'll get the opportunity, hopefully, to start turning this around in the 2026 midterms. And I say hopefully, because it's yet to be seen whether we even get the chance to vote again. But the last thing you need to do, folks, if you set out the last time, the last thing you need to do, if you get another chance, is to set this election out. You need to vote against everything that has MAGA, the GOP, Trump, or anything else associated with its name. Outright vote against MAGA. And that time is really coming up. I mean, we're in September already, almost the middle part of September. And so in about a year and 3 or 4 months, we'll be voting. All right? So I wanted to share this black unemployment data with you to show you that these policies are not helping us at all, as we knew they wouldn't. So I'm Reverend and Civil Rights Attorney Augustus Corbett. Thank you for watching this video. Stay woke.